So here's why I think canes deserve a place in your handstand practice. Reason number one, on canes it's just much easier to get drawn into this like hyper-focused state and really wanting to practice and do a lot of different things. Because on floor, doing the same shit over and over and over again just gets a bit boring after a while. This extra sense of engagement, I feel like is a real accelerator for your handstand practice. Reason number two. So being able to do all these different things lets you approach the same problem, balancing on a hand, in a variety of different ways. And this is very beneficial for any kind of skill learning. Doing the same shit over and over and over again has been shown to not be the most effective way to approach skill training in particular. Third reason why I think it's very helpful to practice with canes is that most people who've gotten good at handstand will tell you it just requires a lot of volume, and I do think this is very true. But to stick to a very high volume approach for a long period of times, and I'm talking about years, it's a lot easier when you intrinsically want to do this. I remember when I was just practicing on the floor, it was sometimes a bit of a struggle to like tick off all the sets that I had planned to do for my session. When I introduced canes into my training, however, it became much easier because you just get carried away. And this can be a pitfall, of course. You can end up doing way too much stuff. But in general, I think it's very beneficial to just get carried away in your practice and do a bunch of sets. Like if you count the amount of sets that I do now, including the canes in my practice to when I didn't, it's just a lot more. And here's the last reason. If you're practicing just on floor and handstands being handstands and one-arm handstands just being incredibly hard, no matter what your skill level is, you're gonna get super frustrated. If you're anything like me, this frustration can get out of control sometimes, and you can end up having little tantrums and your ego being destroyed and the vibes of the session in general just being very low. Whenever now I have a few sets in a row where I just perform absolute garbage, I just hop on the canes and do something, and I will most likely stay up at least. And having this little ego boost in the middle of your sessions does wonders for the mood. Keeping the mood high during your practice, I think, is another very valuable thing to acquire high levels. I still do the majority of my training on the floor because I think the harsh reality of the floor and the way it just requires you to have solid technique is very valuable. But if you are already dabbling in one-arm handstands, I would suggest getting a pair of canes and giving it a shot and see how you feel with it.